evening side. I wonder what that is right there. His name is Jonathan Spivey. Jonathan Cole Spivey. And I'm running for presidency with the New Liberty Party. We're not a third party, we're a fourth party, because we believe in faith, hope, love, and charity. We believe in mercy, helping displaced people, people that are special and have problems. What can I help you with, officer? Richard Nixon had to resign or be arrested for doing what you're doing to me right now. And we'll investigate that later. He had to resign or be arrested on the spot. He resigned instead, and they settled for his resignation. So, we gotta be careful. But don't worry about it. I don't plan to make any foils right now. But when the time comes, be real careful. Because we are monitoring. It looks like active service with ADT because you have your Google Nest camera and you have your doorbell Google Nest. The problem is there's no outer barrier sign. So they're gonna go down as what's called a lay down. I guess I lost.
It's as if someone had slipped butter on all the fine points of the stars. Because when he looked up, he started to slip. He put his head in the crooks of his arms.
If I use Patti Smith at the inauguration, which she sang for Bob Dylan, so for the cause, I'd probably say, you remind me of a thin version of my ex-mother-in-law. That's what I'd say to her. You remind me of a thin version of my ex-mother-in-law. Far more attractive, though, and more creative. But she hung out with the Hells Angels, and she hung out with Fifth Chapter. She was a biker chick. So, and she went to a Sex Pistol concert somewhere. I don't know, maybe Texas, maybe California. They went to both places, but a good chance it was California. But they came to Texas, the Sex Pistols did. She might be a little bit impressed. She's original punk.
His little face lit up with such naked joy that the sun burnt white around his lids. His eyes were like two opals, and he saw everything just a little bit too clearly. There's no black funeral cars around, no black ship, nothing. He was alone, and so he fell on his knees and looked up and cried out, no.
Patti Smith. I had to cast her real quick because Sam Shepard went around. That was the closest I could get because I wanted to make a film with Sam Shepard. Can't get her, gotta get Patti Smith. Immediate casting. You're hired, paid, and good to go.
the gas, in the lid, a match, in the void, when flash in the sky split.
That's not what you can do for your country. It's not necessarily the case. The case is this. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your neighbor. What you can do for you. You know what I mean? Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your neighbor. Right? Start there. When you think of country, you think of borders and wars and politics. That's what I'm trying to take out of this presidential campaign. I'm trying to make a person human and not fake. So ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your neighbor. That's faith, hope, love, and charity. You already got them beat. They don't even know what you're talking about. So we filter any of their questions through that, through faith, hope, love, and charity. And they'll just say, oh, well, you're religious, blah, blah, all of this stuff. Say, well, what does that have to do with helping your neighbor? You know? Your country is not helping your neighbors. That kind of thing, you know? JFK is one of my favorite presidents, and he wanted to be a great writer, which he was. He was a great writer. Just like Arthur Miller was a great writer who helped Marilyn Monroe, and then maybe even led to her end. Maybe JFK too, maybe. But what JFK was thinking about was a country, right? Think about your neighbor. When you start thinking about a country, you want to be a hero, which is great. But if you're too busy being a hero and your neighbor's not fed, or your neighbor's not kept up with or treated right, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your neighbor. Then you'll be part of the New Liberty Party. Help thy neighbor. You always gotta have a little silence, don't you, Patty Smith? A little bit of silence. That's called a salah. Oh, it does go down when you put the code in. Okay, cool. And then that works because you have no ice. It is kind of complex a little bit, but it may not be as good as writing as JFK. But ask not what you can do for your country, but what you can do for your neighbor. So you take the borders out of it. The country is important, but your neighbor is more important. Here's an example. In the military, what do they say the most important thing is during wartime? It's your neighbor, the platoon, right? But the neighbor is very important. They say that in the military. They're not like how they were in Vietnam. So we also want to say, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your neighbor. That's what he was kind of saying, and I'm interpreting. But he wanted you to care for your country. But what about your neighbor? You have to build the country and start with your neighbor. That's complex. But so we'll keep it as ask not what you can do for your country, but what you can do for your neighbor. Because we have to get along first before we fix the country. We start with our neighbor. Like this guy. So if I were to help him and prove that I helped him and I was destitute, I would immediately receive New Liberty points, or what they call karma points. Let's say I lost everything. I could just help him. And I could prove to the New Liberty Party that I helped him in some way. Which he's okay. I'm just going to make sure. Then I would receive the points. And I'd be able to use those at local Walmarts and places that support the New Liberty Party. Hey! Hey, sir! How you doing? I'm Jonathan. I also go by Cole Spivey. I'm running for the New Liberty Party. And I was wondering if you needed any help. No. You're okay? I know that you were filling the gasoline. Yeah. Okay, so I'm Jonathan, and I'll go by Cole too. Okay. But my show, I'm Cole Spivey. That's my middle name. But I was going to ask you a question about migrants. And I wanted to see what you think about it because I'm asking people for ideas. And my idea is to allow them to come here and they would be able to sign up on an app and begin doing work, whether it be helping neighbors and people like you or helping people in any type of service, and allowing them to do that just by signing up on an app where they could immediately be able to tell an ICE officer or a police officer that they're with the New Liberty Party and that they're basically able to work and to be left alone. And it could even have a translator that would speak Spanish on the app. Would you be okay with that?
I'm okay for the day, man.
But you would be okay if we have that for our country and our state, so the migrants wouldn't have to suffer.
Yeah, if it helps.
So what's your name?
Cyrus.
I'm going to show you information about the New Liberty Party and my show, Cyrus, so that we can help. I just wanted to see if I could help you. Because I have a thing about, like, ask not what you can do for your country, but what you can do for your neighbor. To start with the neighbor, okay? We'll talk to him about the faith, hope, love, and charity, and the dove wing for the New Liberty Party to teach his children. And he's okay with the migrants coming in and getting on the user apps so that we can keep them safe from being slaughtered or killed. All right? God bless. Not bad. Don't worry about
If it was nearing, I saw you. Don't look at me, the sky.
All right, here we go with today's kitty. There's one kitty with 9 lives, and each cat life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Swirl the cat food and pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having fancy feast, tuna feast, and gravy grilled, and so will your neighbor kitty. For kitty also is part of the New Liberty Party. Show me your salute, kitty. Very good. Now, we're going to open this up, and we're going to give you half. There goes one side and another side. You got it? Now, your friend's going to get some. Her name's Tabby, just like Stephen King's wife. Her name's Tabitha. That was coincidence. I didn't do that on purpose, Stephen King. We know your wife's not a cat. It could be her spirit, though. We don't see Amy anymore, though. Amy was a black cat. We called her Amy the Witch because we were just joking around. Now Amy's gone. So you gotta be careful when you joke. Let's give this one to Tabitha. She's under protection. All right. It looks like kitty outside Tabitha is good to go. She got some. And she's eating it up. You have at it, kitty. While you enjoy that feast of fancy feast, I will be having ramen noodle. Ramen noodle with tuna, a little bit of onion, carrots, and some spinach. And I'm just going to show the after effects. What I usually do with it's very simple. I do 3 minutes of boiling this, a couple of minutes boiling this, and then I always add the tuna last. But I boil it for at least a good, maybe 30. You can add the tuna first too, but I like mine kind of fresh, not too soggy. All right. You know, this New Liberty Party stuff, you got to cut the budget a little bit because you believe in faith, hope, love, and charity. So sometimes you have to have ramen. That's okay. Love thy neighbor. I'm using this other hand, so what do? Well, it's best just to kind of grab it, throw it in there. It sticks to the plate. That's okay. Then you want to open this up. I'll go ahead and throw this in there early. And then once this hits the water, 3 minutes. my beloved friend tells me don't necessarily feed them out of this, do that instead, because they can cut the whiskers. But I know he's an exact shot. Well, just in case, I'll dig in here, put it on his plate. Isn't Stanley Kubrick wonderful? I watched Full Metal Jacket just the other day, one of my favorite movies, about the abuse of men in the Marines and how they survived. The Marines are the toughest in the world. That's why I'm gonna do a lot of good things for them. I almost became a Marine. I gotta think of what name and Rib I changed their name to. Army was land, I changed it to Land Forces. The Marines are like Sea Forces or something like that. Sea Land Forces, I think. Navy, Corps of Marine. They're basically Sea Land Forces. It's a way to analyze what they do. The Marines are carted around by the Navy. The Navy drops off the Marines. The Army gets there later on and basically takes over everything. The Air Force rules the sky. So they all work together, and the Air Force can also be carted around by the Navy. That'll all be the same, but we are gonna fight in space. So those things I'm talking about restructuring the military is for the purpose so that we can fight in space, because there will be aviation in space, but it'll be called, I gotta look it up. I posted it a few days ago on Facebook and when I was gonna name things, but this is strictly for the novel Rib. That would be restructured, but it's gonna be tough, but we're doing it for the sake of when war does happen, we're able to treat mankind and womankind in a very civil way. So when you change the name, which someone we once did a long time ago did to his followers, when you change a name, you change sometimes the idea. But we'll get to all that stuff later. I did post it on my Facebook. Go to my Facebook, Cole Spivey. You'll see it. It's posted. I put these little icons and stuff. It's to kind of get a new idea about where we can go with the military to advance our soldiers and to create peace on earth. More like love thy neighbor rather than shoot thy neighbor. And listen, one thing I really hated to see in some of the military videos is when I saw a soldier shoot someone's dog and the man cried. He cried because he lost his best friend, all over politics. It happened somewhere over in the Middle East, because the soldier was about 100 feet away and was threatened by the dog barks and ended the dog's life. And that's against the law. Anyway, we're gonna watch it boil. Now we're gonna add this for 3 minutes. Wait until it hits the water. The benefits are not in the money that we give you for being a part of the military in the past. The benefits in the name that we gave you. When we change your name, you act new for the new Liberty Party. The Marines are what are known as the Sea Force Infantry. So they're the Dolphin, the Eagle, and the Globe. The Marines had some of the best helicopter pilots of all time because they have to land on the aircraft carriers to help the Marines. So you have the Dolphin, which is kind of like the Navy SEAL kind of thing. Then you have, they can be picked up by the Eagle, and then you have the Globe, which they'll be involved in basically aerospace technology, which is basically mixing NASA with the military in a way. What it is, and we're not going to mix NASA with the military because NASA's for exploration, but we're going to have a military group that will be able to travel into space. Oh, that's Travis Bickle from Paul Schrader's Taxi Driver. He was a vigilant taxi driver that saved Iris, who was played by Jodie Foster. A lot of nuts have it, so, you know, it's my favorite movie. I used to have the screenplay, but I gave it to Half Price Books. And then I also had Martin Scorsese on Martin Scorsese that talks about Taxi Driver. But there'll be like a taxi service to space, and the Navy will launch them. They can launch from from the sea, and we advance that way. Probably have bases on the moon, all kinds of wonderful stuff. We'll prepare for that now. I know everyone's like, keep the Marine name. We'll talk about that later. I'll probably get talked out of it and be like, hey, you don't get everything you want. We'll change the Army's name and the Air Force. We'll change the Navy, but we're not going to change the Marines' name. I'm like, okay. Maybe we'll just put them in parentheses and just keep all their names. Nah, who cares? I don't know. We probably will. I'll be talked out of that. But anyway, I'll say, well, you know what I mean? We want to restructure, start with a name. Okay, get the idea. The aerospace has a symbol. That would be the aerospace force. They would be the Dog Star or the North Star. But written on the aerospace force is the North Star or the Dog Star. So there'd be two aerospace forces, the North Star and the Dog Star. Dog Star would probably be close to home, close to our planet, while North Star would go out to basically do exploration, but they would be armed with probably Marines. Yeah, I'd probably let them do that. Just don't give them too good of equipment. So the Marines are always sent out without the good equipment. I'm making some mistakes, but you get the idea. Who did I get it from? James Cameron. Well, I was doing too much research on rib, but I'm going to eat it anyway. I could have put a little egg in it. Good to go. Let's see if we have the alternative. This has been going on. It's like Nintendo. Not Nintendo, I'm sorry. Nickelodeon. Get them mixed up. I know. And we're going to see what's on. Stealth camping with Matt. Under the radar van. There's some news. Okay.
That comes out to $40, but it's only 22.
Don't worry, I already ate.
I know. What did you eat?
What did you eat?
I already told you.
All right, well, we'll talk about it later.
I did have a dream about it. I was in an interview and you were in the car and I got in trouble with peach schnapps.
Okay, so there was peach schnapps in the dream?
Yes.
Okay, that's prediction to watch out on peach schnapps. Other than that, just don't worry about it. I just had the ramen, so it's extra 600, so I'm trying to lower the calories, sometimes to 15 and sometimes to 18. And that way I drop a couple of hundred and I'm good to go. Even though the food pyramid's all screwed up right now, according to my brain. All right, cut here. I did ask a Hispanic guy at a gas station if he thought it was a good idea if the migrants could cross and use a app in order, to work. And they said, he said it was a good idea. He thought it was okay. He really just didn't want to talk to me, but I at least asked him if he needed some help. And I told him, ask not what you can do for your country, but what you can do for your neighbor. Thought it was a good idea. So we'll see, karma points come alive and people can actually use them with the user app and things like that. It'll give them to displaced people and migrants. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, you ready? There's Spielberg's grandfather. Spielberg and my dad. That's what it reminds me of. It's a photo of my dad with that Perry guy. Sorry about that. But representative. Rick Perry, he did stuff with the energy for Texas. He was a politician. My dad had a photo with him and a black cop. So I thought it was cool. But he had to, he was just being political. My dad ran for mayor in Keller, South Lake area a long time ago. So here's what my dad did, okay? He made it like hometown. He wore a raccoon hat, and it was a drawing of him, and he ran for mayor. And my uncle is real big with the Libertarian Party, not the New Liberty Party. But we're different. We're not associated with any third party, but we're a fourth party for faith, hope, love, and charity, right? And we've got the dove wing, as well as the cat, which I'm about to get some cat food. This is something that happened. God runs the show. I don't do it. I wish I could direct like this. It's just when God wants a good show, he gets good cat food. We've got fancy beef for Edmund. And my dad did the shot. It would take probably, I don't want to say how long it would take. This would be ocean whitefish for Edmund and gravy. Hey, my dad used to walk me around Albertsons and try to train me on how to shop for bologna in the South Lake area. I was like, listen, we're going to go shopping, and I'm going to teach you how to shop. I was fresh out of, well, I was still in college after one of my breakdowns, but I went back to college and I graduated and got my bachelor's. I almost got my MFA at the Actors Studio. So I took a break from college and I went to learn how to shop because I was eating nothing but lettuce and tomatoes. Don't ever do that, by the way. It can drive you crazy. I was doing a David Bowie thing for a play called Heidi Chronicles. And this one's the chicken. Now, we're also gonna borrow a tray. They don't have any loose ones, do they? This is how he shops, kind of. No, we're not gonna do that one. He probably shops more like at Sam's. He was the one that gave me motorcycles when I was little and taught me how to snipe a deer from 100 yards and blow the deer's heart out. He took me on a lease and said, out in Woodson, right past Breckenridge, he said, I want you to get yourself a good 14-point, I'm sorry. It was an 8-point, 14-inch spread. I shot a 7-point, probably 12-inch spread. It might have been 14-inch spread. So it's like, well, whoops, you messed up. Now we got to get around the game warden, chop the deer's head off and threw it out. But he kept the antlers. He threw it out to the coyotes. I was like, but it was a fair shot. Nope. One of the freaking antlers broke off. What happened was another guy was shooting up behind me and shot the antler off of it, and I got him through the heart. The other guy behind me, his name was like Chris, I don't know, Chris Kyle or something like that. Just joking. Or am I? Ask Bradley Scooper. Bradley, what was his name in Once in a Lifetime, my screenplay? Yeah, it's about him. It's about Bradley Cooper, but his name has changed. His last name is Drooper. And they go after this movie star to try to become famous. They try to basically attack a movie star at the Angelica Film Center in Dallas when he was supposed to show up. Cooper really didn't show up there, but it was a character based on him. The reason why I'm saying that is because Bradley Cooper played Chris Kyle, a Navy SEAL, who has 160 confirmed kills. Some say 300, some say 600. That'll be investigated. But regardless, it doesn't really matter now. It's in the past, so we got to learn to forgive and forget. But it's important to know our past and learn from it. So maybe 160, maybe 600. I already shot a guy to have a Quran. He's going to his almost like Sunday school. I shot him. That ain't good. It's like, what did you shoot the guy? He hit a Quran. Okay, I thought maybe it was something else. Well, yeah. They didn't respond that way. I got some cat food. Oh yeah, I gotta get some more cat food over this way. What was I? The point of the story, though, wasn't necessarily Robin Williams style humor, but it had to do with a sniper shot. The deer was about maybe 13, maybe 12 to 13 inch spread, maybe 14. But it made him mad because the game wardens back there fined you. Back in the time, you'd get fined, and a game warden can just go right into your tent and see what you have. They have the ability to do that. So he went ahead and just gave it to the coyotes, which was stupid because they can still find that out. But he did keep the antlers. He hung it in a tree for a long time. Anyway, I ate more cat food. All right, we got the pate, the shreds and gravy. It looks like she's gonna have some shreds and gravy, chicken dinner, and turkey cheese. A little Thanksgiving, some salmon. And then I got a little mixture. He really likes the ocean whitefish. Ocean whitefish. But it's the chicken, beef, and gravy. And of course, the chicken, beef, and gravy. And I'll replace that one with a different one. It's good to get them different stuff. Ocean whitefish and beef feast gravy grilled. So yeah, we'll give them probably some more ocean whitefish. Good to go. Okay, and I gotta get myself my cat food. That's something I'm gonna share with Edmund. They kind of go like that. Okay. They have their little sword. Let's play. Clear that section. Piggy Poos by the shampoo. Piggy Poo shampoo. This guy's orange stun gun. Got him. Dang. Oh, busy. Oh. Very, whoops. Simple. Let's pick it back up. JFK says something about falling to the ground and picking it back up. Little $6 backup, or should we go 11? I think we should go $11 backup. It's a little more hefty, but we keep it under control. And we're paying $11 for crucial food for him, for indoor. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus 11. That's 21. Then we've got 24, 27, 30, plus the 31. And then the beer makes 50. Okay.
I don't know. How many?
Bagel bites.
So 200 calories, 4 pieces.
What's the nutrition on that puppy?
200.
That's like gluten.
Yeah.
The beer's going for like 21. So everything should be roughly 50, at least we get more.
Okay, I've only had like 300 calories today. Oh yeah, and we don't have any cheese except that crappy.
Let's get cheese.
Fed-
Do wholemeal mozzarella, or we'll do this queso. I'm gonna see if I can run this by her. Maybe some sliced cheese singles. Which usually they keep them right over here. About right there. $1.88 for that one. And about $3 for that one. So now we're at 55. Guess we'll have these type of gun color right there. And that's it. But it won't be a toy. It'll be something maybe like a laser or something that incapacitates people, but doesn't kill them. The way you do it is just go, this would be 11, 10. I'm sorry, this is 20. Sorry, this is 20 and this is 11. So we start with 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. This is about 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. This is 43, 46, 49. We're at about 50 even. So I counted wrong. $50, and then we're adding one for 51 bucks. All right, and nobody adds anything to my cart or I get your name badge, including the cop. But once again, we've got the 20 and we've got the 11. So 21, basically it'd be 30. Sorry. All right. So we've got the 20 plus the 11, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 35, and then about 38. The 39, that's 41. That's 44, 47, 50. We got 51. Should be right. So I went over everything. 61 is what we got. So we got the 20 roughly, 11, so it's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 35, and that's probably gonna make it about 38. 39, roughly 40. So it'll be 42. Right here, we've got at least 49, and then Why am I getting 50 and on the calculator I'm getting 61? I'll figure it out. One more time. We've got the 20 and then the 11. So that's 31. Okay, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Then we've got the 44. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So 53, 56, 59. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's 50. I guess my calculator messed up. Calculator was right. It's roughly more like 58 to 60. I'm counting this as 10. All of that is 10. This is 20, so it's 30. Plus this is 11, so it's 41. These two right here are about 5. So we're looking at 46. We got the 47, 48, 49. These right here are all 10. So roughly 59. Yeah, and then that makes 60. Got it. You hear about that new shampoo for cops? It's called entrapment. So that cop's busted for entrapment, especially on the New Liberty Party. They can't be like posing around looking for it. They can't be at liquor stores either. It's a conflict of interest. Boy, he looks so innocent looking for that mouthwash though. Office, badge, sidearm, good to go, rib out. Okay, got it. Got it.
It's not time to party.
Hitchcock never partied. He was always proud. Kitty, do you smell Marie Callender? Are you eating the cat food again? If anyone ever tells you that One-Eyed Jacks is gay, you tell them, I belong to a party that disagrees with calling Marlon Brando a flamer. But yeah, it's a little weird. A light in the loafers, you could say. It's the only one they let him direct, so just give him a break.
Sleep
my line of work, I do come across people that get kind of ugly. They got property they want to protect, and they got guns, and they got dogs. So, when things get rough, I say, I understand you do not want the ADT equipment, and you do not want me on your property. And then they keep coming for whatever reason. I look at them and I say, my name is Cole Spivey. I'm with the New Liberty Party. We're not a third party, we're a fourth party. Because we believe in faith, hope, love, and charity. Most important, charity. I want us to be a charitable nation again. We kind of were sometimes, but... And then I say, I'm running for the United States President. So, prepare for that audit. You have a good day. All right, in 1999, Judgmental Films would release a black satirical comedy about office work known as Office Space, starring Ron Livingston and Jennifer Aniston. There's other great actors in it too, like John C. McGinley. If you've ever seen Platoon, he played Sergeant Red in Platoon. And then, of course, you know, there's Gary Cole, who's classic. One of our greatest stars since Tom Cruise. And he played Bill Lumberg. But anyway, yeah. So the Office Space is great. 1999. I remember seeing this in pretty much like, I think it was college. And I was like, I don't want that. You know, you go to the office every day. It's miserable. You know, Ron Livingston plays Peter Gibbons. He has to get up, go to the office. It's like a software company. And supposedly like Dallas or somewhere like Dallas. It's called Anytech. They're like drones. Like, you know, just like cattle in a farm. Pharmaceutical. Like they're just, you know. Yeah, Dallas. Unbelievable. They're trying to kill me. I lived. Okay, so, you know, Office Space is funny. You got to take an Office Space break. They shot most of it in Austin. This is I-635, so Mike Judge did like a crane shot of this building right here, which is basically the Galleria, and then also some buildings on the side. But anyway, Peter Gibbons, he has to go to work every day. He hates it. He doesn't really like his fiance, so he decides to get a hypnotherapist played by Michael McShane. So, Michael McShane's kind of big fat guy, psychologist. Excuse my language, but he is. Or he was in the film. He may have lost the weight, I don't know. Like John Goodman kind of thing. But he's a big guy. It's kind of funny. Hypnotizes him to not worry about his work and not worry about, you know, basically his fiance. But he dies before he can count down from 10. So he can't snap the fingers and snap him out of it. So he returns to work in a blissful state. Does not care. Doesn't care about work. He comes to work one time with like a power drill and disassembles his cubicle. Pushes it over so he can, you know, look out at the sunlight. He could care less. He comes in like from fishing, brings in fish into the work, guts it in front of everybody, goes over to the restaurant next door, which is basically Tchotchke's, where Jennifer Aniston's character works, known as Joanne. And he hits on her, and then they start on like like an affair kind of thing. And he finally realizes that the company has hired, efficiency managers. One of them is John C. McGinley, the guy that was in Platoon. That guy goes to work every day with a big smile on his face because he gets to fire you. Now, he interviews all of Peter Gibbons' friends, one being David Herman, who plays Michael Bolton. He hates his name because he's been tagged by, to be this, he's named after a songwriter is kind of weird. And he doesn't want Michael Bolton's name, but that's his name. And then there's AJ Nadu, who is played by Samir Nagking Nanajar. It's the other way around, but you know what I mean. No one can say his name. Samir Nagking Nanajar is the character that AJ Nadu plays, and he just doesn't like his name because no one can pronounce his name. And the other guy, there's a few office workers that get canned, and so Peter gets into the consultant managers, but not until he has to pass by Gary Cole's character, which is Bill Lumberg, who's like, hey, can you come in on Saturdays? That kind of guy. And then he wants the TPS reports. And he also has a weird dream that he's doing Joanna. It's like that kind of thing. People do that kind of stuff because he's the boss. Why not? He gets what he wants. He's like, hey, could you pass those TPS reports? He's holding Joanna's leg, and they're doing a thing. Joanna gets in trouble at work by a guy named Stan. Stan is played by Mike Judge, the writer. He wrote it and directed it. He's also the director. He was the one that was sitting up here on this crane up here. And they basically, they don't hit it off. He's like, you're going to have to wear more flair. So flair's like, did you ever go to Bennigan's or TGI Fridays? Where Bennigan's, they had to do it. They wore suspenders. And it was like little buttons on it, that said, hey, you're number one, or go Cowboys, or whatever. So she had to wear more flair. And so she didn't want to. And so they get in a fight over it because there was too much flair grabbing her suspenders and pulling down her cleavage kind of thing. So she didn't want to deal with it. And he's just, listen, I just want you to express yourself. And she's like, express this. So anyway, Peter gets in front of his consultant managers like Bill Lumberg. No, not Bill Lumberg, I'm sorry. Bob Slidell, who's John C. McGinley. And he's like, just please fire me. I don't do any work. I do about 15 minutes of work a day. I could care less, So there's the building right here. I usually do a side-by-side, but it never works. It only shows those buildings, but those buildings are actually in it too. So it does kind of work. I'm just too lazy to get on my Mac Pro and adjust it so you can see that building. But there's ways I can do it by picture-in-picture, and you can kind of see that building too. All right, that's the filming location of the 1999 black satirical comedy known as Office Space. Finally, what ends up happening is they promote Peter Gibbons, even though he's a butthole. They promote him, like John C. McGinley's character is like smiling, like, hey man, he's like got a big smile on his face. And so he's like, you'll enjoy this, man. You'll like this money. He's the one in Platoon that's like, I love him. He's one of my favorite characters in Platoon. He goes up to Sergeant Barnes in Platoon, and he's like, man, I don't got a good feeling about this one, man. And then Sergeant Barnes is like, man, I need every swinging dick out there, blah, blah. He's going to make him face death. He does die, too. You got to see Platoon. It's a better movie. But anyway, look. Jordan Lyon did the best Office Space stuff. He went out to Austin and covered it all. Check out Jordan Lyon's channel. It sums up with Milton, right? Okay, so the whole thing is about Milton. And Milton is based on a cartoon that Mike Judge made. So Milton lives in the base, or he's put in the basement because he's in the company because of payroll glitch. So he's a red stapler. He's like, where's my red stapler? You better not move me again, or I'll burn this place down or whatever. So he does end up doing that, but not until Peter Gibbons comes up with an idea to help his friends. He's like, why don't we do this? Why don't we create a virus we can download it onto the payroll program, and it'll just take a fraction of a cent. Nobody will catch it. We'll put it in an account, take it out of an ATM. It turns out that $300,000 it adds up. He doesn't mean to get that much money, and he gets sad about it. You know, he gets kind of paranoid. So he writes a letter to the company and explains that he's sorry, and gets cashiers. Well, they're not cashiers, but they're traveler checks, and then he delivers that to the company to cover his ass so they don't throw him in prison. Now, Milton decides to burn the place down, but another worker comes up with a good plan to kill himself in the garage by hooking up. Well, it's not a good plan, it's a bad plan, but he hooks up a hose to the back of his car, and it doesn't work. And then when he backs up, he hits a neighbor, and then he sues the company for like too much stress or whatever, and gets like $1 million lawsuit. It's been done. Now, Milton finally decides to go to the company, burn it down, but he finds the traveler's checks first. So he finds the traveler's checks and takes off to like Mexico or something. Peter goes back to his place. His neighbor, played by Dietrich Bader, got them all. His name is actually, oh man, I almost got all the characters' names, almost, the main players. I'll have to remember his name, but it's Dietrich Bader. I said it a few times before the vlog, but he has a cool name. Lawrence, yeah, like Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, Lawrence, I remembered. Dietrich Bader, because I remember seeing Lawrence, it was like Jennifer Lawrence, and then it's like Jennifer Lawrence in it, but they could do a remake, maybe, I don't know. She may be too old, too. Man, Jennifer Aniston was hot. She was at a hot stage when she played it. She was like in her 20s. She was beautiful in this role. But anyway, you don't really catch it, but they shot it out in Austin mostly. But anyway, Lawrence was the guy's name. He hooks up with him and joins a demolition team, basically like construction workers, to clean up the rubble of Anytech. And everybody goes over to Anytrope, so they find another job. Good to go. 20th Century Fox would release it, but Judgmental Films was the studio behind it. I guess it's about the same. All right, they fired me. So the time of the firing was about 11:10 a.m. They also tried to do a cease and desist. I don't know about that. Wednesday, July 8th of 2026. The cease and desist is probably have to do with the show. So they said they got video. It was video of my show, but that's what happens. So, or the customer had video of their footage from, you know, a Nest Cam, ADT equipment, or Vivint, or Ring, and they didn't like the fact that when I'm getting cussed out, I cuss back, you know, or I'll tell someone, you know, to F off or something, which I shouldn't have done. But the good thing is, my goal was, that's why I'm wearing my white t-shirt, because I gave their shirt back. My goal was, if they fired me, just get out unclean. My boss said, well, my immediate boss said, his name's Javo, he said, you got to sign this. I said, fuck the North. And that just means like federal, you know, fuck it. Fuck the North, or whatever legal paperwork they need me to find or sign. Or maybe it's from the South, I don't know. But I just said, fuck the North, you know, because he's from the North. And so I didn't sign it, and I just left. I mean, there's no reason for me to sign it. I'm not going to sign any paperwork at that point. They do owe me money, so they owe me a week pay, or maybe even 2 weeks pay. And I'll be reporting a show. It'll take some time to get caught up, but I'll be able to get caught up pretty quick. And it's probably my own footage that they're holding against me, and that's fine. I'm willing to take that. And then I guess other than that, I mean, they promised $200,000 a year, but you can barely make $1,000 a week in that company. I don't care what you say. I gotta keep some things going on because I did do some screenshots of their GroupMe. So that's what the next thing they'll do is they'll kick me off the GroupMe thing. So I called that guy Chris, who told me to shut up in my face at work, who they didn't fire. And I told him that he better leave Texas because he's a criminal. He pulled a gun on someone in Dallas, or at least he told me he did. So he'll be arrested for doing that, for pulling it. He pulled a gun on a guy in traffic, and they arrested because he's with this company. He's with this Jew guy named Connor Parker, who was in the army, who's unfair to people. Has probably killed many people in Afghanistan, and he'll be investigated. He's an army brat. They'll be investigated. I called Chris, and I told him he better leave Texas because they will arrest him. Cease and desist this, motherfucker.
Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi, won't you keep on shining on? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi, won't you keep on shining on? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi, won't you keep on shining on me? Yeah, keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything great. Mama gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry at all. Keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry.
The company's now been placed under the DEA. I'll be filing out a DEA report against them because I know there's marijuana activity going there. Reason why, and I'll tell you why later. There's a couple of characters there that look like they smoke, and that's enough for them to pull their drugs. Also, I'm going to investigate them for counterfeit money. That'll be another investigation for counterfeit money. I've already started doing that. So it'll be a message to the FBI and the DEA. Hey, but I don't have to call ICE because they're a bunch of brat white boys that are about to head out of Texas up north in New York. So have fun, motherfuckers. Enjoy. Because that city ain't going to be nice to you. Because you ain't going to make it head down here in Texas, motherfucker. That guy, Chris Ruby, he threatened me. He yelled in my face. He told me to shut up. And he's got tattoos. He's covered in tattoos. He's got 3 tattoos across here, and across here. He supposedly pulled a gun on somebody in Dallas and held him in traffic and had him arrested. Hey, listen, I don't care if you're a Jew company. You don't have that power. So we're going after Chris to arrest him for probably assault with a deadly weapon. So he better get out of Texas. Oh, well. To be honest, I mean, I'm not really that upset. It's mostly something like you have to be upset. But you can be the nice guy sometimes, you know. Well, I did give back the property, the expensive property. They have iPads. They received it back. That was the most important thing. I gave it right to my manager, and I told my manager that he received it. So they have cameras in the office so they can tell the iPad. I did drop off the ADT security signs in the hallway kind of thing because I feel threatened by my manager. Okay, he wanted me to sign something. He's like, you got to sign this. I ain't signing anything. If it's a firing, there's no reason to sign. If it's a discipline action, then I'll sign that. But I won't sign anything when it comes to firing. There's no need to. You don't know what you're signing, right? At that point, you're like, you're not going to pay me anymore and you want me to sign? No. You know, if I go to a Comic-Con and I'm going to sign something, there's going to be payment involved. Now, I might do some free signatures, but I'm not going to sign anything where they can get advantage of my signature at that point. Because they have valuable information about me, and I have valuable information about them. I have names. So I'm not going to sign anything at that point. The shirt, I did try to get the shirt to the counter. I think it fell off the counter, but that's just a shirt. I tried to give the shirt to the office person because I had to go, but it didn't exactly land on the counter. So they'll have to pick up the shirt and the signs. But other than that, I got out okay. So you want to, like, you know, put them somewhere. You don't have to, like, place it to them, because then they could try to process serve you or something. You want to keep your distance, right? A company can try to process serve you. So at that point, you keep your distance, and just, that's what I did. You don't want to get close to them. You want to get away from them, because you could be signing some kind of legal documents to get in trouble or something. So you don't have to sign it at that point. And it doesn't matter who tries to serve you at that point. If it's not clear, then it's not really serving. So there was nothing like that. It was just sign this paperwork here, and I was like, no. So, you know, let them try to prove whatever they need to prove. Listen, anybody can sue anybody for any reason at all. They could have sued David Koresh rather than go in there with guns and try to kill him. They could have sued anybody, you know, because David Koresh, they did all that kind of stuff to him throughout his life, and other people like him, you know. But they could have sued him rather than killed 25 of his children. They burned them, you know. And so I told them to fuck the North. That was basically, you know, fuck your country, you know. You'd have to join mine. So I left that behind. I don't really want to have military ties. My dad was military. My grandfather was Navy. I went through that enough. I'm okay with him being Army, but I don't really want to have any ties. If I were to start Rib like a real thing, even though it's just a novel, I might have said something to someone at the door that was rude to me, and not have thought about it, and that was a mistake. And those things happen, but I'm not going to sit there and give them what they want at that point. It's best just to get away and start over. Now, they do have to spend money on trying to sue you, and eventually, if they can't corner you like they try to do in the office right there at the Richardson office off of 850 Arapahoe. It's East 850 Arapahoe, Dallas, Texas, and Richardson. You know, there was no thing like, I represent the court, this is blah, blah, blah. There was nothing like that. But he did say the word cease and desist or something like that. And that's usually something, that's what they did with Mark Zuckerberg. And they did that when he was in his dorm room. And he just kept doing what he was doing. So that happens. They try to take advantage of what you have, and they try to take your money if they can. But you want to stay away at that point. Don't return back. Keep away from that office at that point. Don't try to reason with them, because what they're trying to do is get your money. You never know the worth of somebody. So I don't know. I will report to the show to find out if they paid me the final amount. I don't know. I would have to figure that out, but you'll get all the information about what they are and if there is thievery involved. Listen, pay, it's called salary wage theft or something like wage theft. It's a serious crime. Wage theft, there's a week worth of work for sure, because we're on a Wednesday. There's a week worth of work for sure, you know, that they owe me for, because it lags behind 1 month, I think. And also other accounts, because there's thousands and thousands of dollars wrapped up in this. They can go back and close some accounts. I have one that's in the process of being closed right now. I just closed one yesterday. So that's thousands of dollars that they could have taken from me. So that's threatening someone's safety. When you take someone's money, you threaten their safety. So I have to monitor things, so I will be doing that. All right. So what cease and desist meant was they don't want you competing with them. They'd sue you in court if you try to compete with them because it's a competitive business. So you sign that, you're saying, okay, I won't compete with you. I can go right over here and get it today, start doing the same exact thing if I wanted to. But I have to think about if that's what I want to do, you know. I mean, I got a show to worry about. I got the American people to worry about. I've got Rib to worry about because, listen, we have to be investigated. Every cop has to be investigated. Every military branch has to be investigated. The guy that runs that place is named Connor Parker. He's Army. He has to be investigated. We don't know how many people he killed over in Afghanistan. We don't know if he should be walking free. I don't know why Chris Ruby told me he has a gun and he pulled a gun on somebody in traffic and held him at gunpoint and had him arrested. Nuh-uh. A militia cannot make an arrest. And the police, they can be the police. The police have to make the arrest on their own behalf. He can't go around pulling guns on people and have people arrested. That's what they arrested OJ for. OJ Simpson. Chris Ruby's going to prison. But here's the thing. You can't do that. They've already started researching it. So the cop that worked with Chris Ruby is probably going to prison too. You see what I'm saying? Things have to be researched. You can't pull guns on people in traffic. It's illegal. You know what happened at Walmart where the guy got shot? You know? Stand your ground law. She can do that if the guy's approaching her, but this is a traffic incident. You can't pull your guns out and go crazy. So he'll be arrested for threatening the public. He didn't threaten me, thank goodness. But he did tell me to shut up. So, this one's for Chris Ruby. Got it, fuckhead? Show off your big muscles. There you go. Right there. Right there. Still got mine, bitch. Work out every day at the freaking gym. There's mine, bitch. Enough to hold a sniper rifle. Come get it. I still mean it about love, though. Still mean it about love. If you have a militia, you can have sniper rifles. You can have all the military weaponry that we have today. All of it. Tanks, surface air missiles, and we should have the nukes, too. We can have it all, and we do. We do have them. There's people that can make them. I don't have to be nice to you when you sign it over to me, and I'm not going to salute you. I'm not going to do this or that. Don't ask me to salute. So, that's just the way it goes. You win some, you lose some. Nothing at all. That's the worst thing that you can do to somebody. It's nothing at all. The signs on the floor, that's out of love. The shirt going flying at the desk, that's out of love. Although that shirt could have put my eye out, but it didn't. It landed before the desk, and I got out of there. I got out of there as quick as I could and as relatively civil as I could. But the signs are on the ground. The shirt is on the ground. iPad's in his hands. I got the money back. They're good to go. Peace out. Watch out before I create a really good mace. You know what I mean? So leave it alone. And that's it. They can go their direction. I go mine. And that's what makes us Americans. Amen. I'm not going to change the name or the flag. I'm just going to change the name of the branches is all. Because you are ashamed. I mostly want to make sure Connor's not bloodthirsty. What happens to a soldier is they become bloodthirsty. They want to find a way on how are they going to kill. They're not going to be able to. We got cameras just like you got cameras. We got guns just like you got guns. It's over, Connor. You can't kill anymore. You're under investigation. Rib out. Faith, love, hope, and charity is going to investigate you. The copy machine better not leave. I've got someone there that's going to look at that. If you try to erase any documents or try to hide from the audit that's going to be imposed upon you, you'll be held against you in the court of law. I know about the counterfeit money, and I know about the drugs. We'll find a way to prove it. And welcome. Not to RIB, but to the country. But here's the problem. You can't be a part of RIB. You have Army ties. Army, Navy, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines cannot be a part of it. So you'll have to go to the Army and complain. You'll get your VA check for a while, but it'll be towards the end of your life, it'll change. You'll be given karma points rather than cash money. And you'll be able to use the karma points the way that you should have always used them. For love and supplies. Not love. Oh yeah, that's right. Haven't got to that point yet. We haven't studied that yet, have we? Because we know that shit's going on in Dallas. We'll have to study somewhere. We'll have to study where your money goes, because we know that the JEW is very crafty with hiding their money with Bitcoin and dark web stuff. We'll find out. But when you sign into your password, and let's say something happens, don't come running to RIB. Actually, to be honest, it's over for you, man. It's over for you because you treat people like shit, and don't use the F word when you're talking in front of people that are from the church, because it wears off on them. I don't think it's cool. I think what you did by taking an oath to kill other people is evil. We won't take oaths in RIB. We'll just do the right thing. So God bless, and have a good day.
If you didn't care, what happened to me? And I didn't care. But you, zigzag away through the bottom pain, occasionally glancing up through the rain, wondering which of the brothers to blame. And watching the pigs on the wing.
Yeah, it's weird because I've never made $100,000 a year where people can basically lose everything. Like, there's people, $100,000 a year is a tremendous amount of money if you make $100,000 in a year. The most I've ever made is close to maybe 38,000, maybe 30. Between 30 to 38,000, even with this job. I don't recommend Revamped Security. If you've been in the company for a long time and you just want to get draw, and you want to get bad leads, and you just want draw, means it's a basic pay. It was like a little over $400. If you want to make a little over $400 a week sometimes, and then sometimes make $1,000 a week, like every once in a while, and have people steal your cells. Even Linda knows they're stealing. They steal cells. If you want that to happen, then join Revamped Security, because they're just going to steal from you. What I would do is look at Safe Haven. They're commission only, so what you make is what you get at their business. I had to leave because I couldn't keep their hours. There's another company that's a little competitive. They're out there in Dallas. It's called Bulldog. I don't know much about them. I just know he said ADT's in the Pentagon, and I've read that they're not. So in the training class, he said ADT was in the Pentagon, and I've read that that's not the case. They have their own private security. If you like a bunch of good guys that will feed you, and they'll do everything they can to train you. They work with the MP guy. He's a military police officer. Come out to Safe Haven. They're over there, kind of way over this way, kind of, if you go towards Texas Wesleyan University, they're in like a bank building or something like that. They're okay guys, but you have to keep their hours or they'll can you. But they'll get you cells maybe. But they put me on Lake Worth. I didn't get anything with them. I actually did get cells with Revamped, so I'm not going to put them down completely. Okay, I'm doing a work review. I'm not going to put them down completely. I'm not going to put them down completely because they're very, very good at getting inside the home. Probably the best so far. I've worked for Alder, Safe Haven, and Revamped. Alder is not authorized with ADT. Safe Haven is. They're a little tough on getting in the home, but that might be good because the only time they get in is when they get the cell. And they do a whole walkthrough process that's completely different than Revamped. Revamped gets in by asking for old equipment. Do you have old equipment in the home? I can look at that, blah, 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 blah. The other one does something similar. Safe Haven does something similar, but they get in to do a walkthrough, almost kind of like a technician does a little bit. They go through the back door where all the crimes happen. They don't go through the back door to get in, though. They go through the front door to get in, but they take you to the back door and they explain what can happen in the home, and then they offer you equipment, and it's commission only with them. So you sell, then you make money. With Revamped, if you mess up that week, you get a base pay, and then you get like $16 in gas, but the base pay comes with $100 gas as well. What I mean by the $16 in gas is like, let's say you get a couple of sales and you make $1,000. They add an additional $16 on top of that for the gas that coming out to Richardson. They actually do that. But they will give you $100 with the base pay. So you get about $400, a little over $400. It's not a lot if you don't get sales, but it's something. Safe Haven doesn't. So Safe Haven, you get the cell, and I think they work only off Sales Rabbit. So they actually put the cell in Sales Rabbit, which is weird. So that's it, you know. Other than that, there's no reason for me to try anything. I think what they probably wanted me to do was sign some kind of paperwork. It might have been a disciplinary action, but the HR said that they were going a different direction, so they were going to terminate me. So when I heard that, I just left. I didn't throw the iPad down. I just tossed it over to him. I mean, I just set it in front of him. I mean, I gave him the iPad. I didn't even toss it. I just placed it there to make sure he got it. That was the most important thing, because that's worth the paycheck. Then, of course, the shirt. I don't know how much those shirts are, but they received the shirt. And then, of course, they also received the signs, because the signs were given to me by another employee that was let go too. Now, here's some true thing about Revamp. Since I've been there, since I started there in February, none of the people that I worked with are still there. None of them. But Josh Neerman. Josh was my boss. And Connor Parker. And then they brought in Chris Ruby after me, and he was the one that told me to shut up. So I made a comment to my boss about it, and also his talking of guns. And so I called him and I told him, listen, no one tells me to shut up. And really what he did was he was kind of bullying me, and he was talking about guns and being an ex-cop and all this other stuff. So he was pretty rude. And he also talks a lot. You can kind of hear him on the video a little bit, but he runs his mouth way too much. He's from New Jersey. Whether he was brought in by Hyson, I don't know. Hyson's also from New Jersey. He lives over this way, but he's also from the Bronx. The other guy's from Brooklyn. His name's Javo, but he's Javani. He's okay. He's pretty cool, but he's stern. He did want me to sign the paperwork, and I was like, no, I'm not going to sign that. There's no reason for me to. You've already terminated me. We're over. Goodbye, you know. And then he got the iPad, and then the shirt went to the desk, and then the signs went to the folder. That's where they keep all their Revamped Security, ADT authorized flyers. They keep a bunch of flyers there. They do have for some reason they do have a copy machine that's on the side, like behind the desk, so they may be getting audited. You can't get rid of your copy machine when you're getting audited. They can trace everything that you do, even if you try to make counterfeit money, or you make some illegal documents, or documents that the law doesn't see legal. You can't throw away your copy machine. So it will be audited. I am reporting them to the DEA, and I've got some reasons for that. I'm also reporting them to the FBI for organized crime. It went on in Dallas, dude, Jack Ruby and stuff. So I have to watch my back. And listen, that's part of all of this. JFK had to watch his back too. And so did all the presidents. So did the Big T and the one I never talk of, the name I never mention. He has to watch his back every day. A lot of people have to watch their back. It's just the way it is. I do think Connor is a criminal. I think he committed crimes overseas in the Army, if he even went overseas. But I do think he's a criminal in one way. I think these guys are criminal in one way or another. But we'll investigate it. FBI will investigate. DEA will investigate as well. That's it. That's all I'm going to call. And I've done it before on other companies. Okay? So if you cross my path, you'll be audited. All right? Peace out. Rib out. God bless America. I'm still waiting for Gary Oldman to get on board for my Texas Werewolf screenplay. All right? Rib out. Oops. I gotta slow down over here. I don't know why Gary Oldman's so hard to get a hold of. He went over there to England to do to do Samuel Beckett's Crap's last tape in the West End of England, or of the Britain nation, United Nation, or United Britain, or whatever. And then he came back to Hollywood. He's hard to get a hold of. Maybe Sean Penn can. And you can have a gun, but in the workplace, I ain't a fucking cop. A gun? Nah, that's okay. There's too many work shootings, all kinds of stuff in the office. Nah, I'm okay. You can keep your gun and your money. Hey, listen, I got all the money in the world. I don't need his mouth running. He can go back to 24-hour fitness and jake off in the bathroom like he usually does. That's what people tell me about him. Peace out, Chris Ruby, you fag. There's some of your faggots. Maybe y'all can hook up at a bar. I mean, also another thing I don't buy on his ass is he's like, oh, I got the ADT self with a customer and we sat down and prayed. Well, did you pray about running your foul mouth? Another thing too, he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. We need to pray about me bullying Cole in the office. And then he's praying with these customers, that's fine, dude, but we all got to hear about it. He made $500 on that sell, and then he's sitting there going, oh, me and the customer sat down and prayed. That's not what Jesus was about, He wasn't about you turning to your brother and telling him to shut up. I know I'm going crazy over the word shut up, but you destroyed my honor for a moment, and I never got to earn it back. Because for one thing, hey, listen, give me a good 6 months with some professionals. I'll meet you in the gym. I'll meet you in the ring. I'm older, but I'll meet you there. Because I was trained by some cops out in Denton in jiu-jitsu. And I'll knock your ass out, and I'll get you in a chokehold and make you submit. Okay? I'm not afraid of you. Your muscles don't scare me because I know how to fight Brazilian style. You learn Brazilian jiu-jitsu, just like Hoist Gracie. I'll take you on. But all that freaking marijuana that you're selling and smoking, Chris Ruby, and then you're going pretend like you're big Jesus Christ, going, like you're gonna represent some kind of church. I'll take you on the ring. But you're too pussy to meet me. Hey, listen, I got guys lined up like Mark Wahlberg, Bradley Cooper, even though I call him an asshole, and a bunch of other people that will train me to take your ass out in a few seconds. And listen, it's quicker than you think, fuckhead. I'll meet you in the ring anytime, but give me 6 months to prepare to get back in shape, and then we're good to go. All right, because I'll kick the fucking New Jersey right out of you. Same thing that this pussy Hyson at his pizza shop. They probably sent you after me. Fuck him and his crew too. Y'all better leave Texas. Police are called. The police have been called. Yeah, the police are called.
Okay, call him.
I did call him. I called him. Go.